Now, we want to tell you about this because, unfortunately, for the second year in a row, the annual Ring of Kerry charity cycle has been postponed, and whilst they're hugely disappointed not to be welcoming everybody in person to the finish line on the 3rd of July, they're launching an alternative way for people to take part and support their chosen charities. The Ring of Kerry Alternative Charity Cycle. It's 170k my way. So you can sing it if you want, but ideally you'll cycle it. The money raised will go towards the chosen charities who have really felt the pressure and demand on their services over the past year of the pandemic and have also had their ability to finance those services restricted. And I'm delighted to welcome Anne Riordan of the Irish Heart Foundation to the show. And the Irish Heart Foundation are one of the Ring of Kerry's nominated charities. Good morning to you. How are you getting on?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks a million for this. We really appreciate it.
No, look, it's important because I know at the start of lockdown there were loads of people doing these mammoth things and raising huge amounts of money for important causes, but the long form impact on your sector has been fairly phenomenal, and just the ability to get out and do stuff and shake buckets and all the kind of traditional things that raised awareness but also raised much needed funds are gone. So how important is something like this?
Just so huge. And you said there's been a huge shift in how we fundraise, but there's been a huge shift in how everybody's had to deliver services as well. Everybody had to just transform in the last year, and so many charities really stepped up and filled gaps, and really, met vulnerable people where they were at. And, I think there's so many people that have been so commendable. But the sector has been very hit. But the only thing is people have wanted to be more active, which is so positive. I mean, from the Irish Heart Foundation's point of view, 80% of heart disease, can be preventable. 1 in 3 people die from heart disease or stroke. And just by getting out and getting active can really benefit somebody's overall well-being. And for any, I suppose, health service provider, they'd say the same thing, get out and get active. And more people have been getting out, taking on challenges, which has been fantastic. But this particular event, I've chased for the last 15 years. I wanted to be one of the charities for the last 15 years. I think it's a super event. And on the day, I don't know if you've ever had the chance to do the cycle. Have you?
I haven't done it, Anne, but I've had the pleasure of drinking a few pints in a pub while people have come in with their bikes afterwards. So I've done very important parts, yeah.
Probably one of the best bits of it. But it's just such a spectacular cycle. The vistas are amazing, but it's the camaraderie between everybody. Everybody is just egging everybody else on. And whether you're kind of a 5-hour cyclist or you're there for the whole day, 10 or 12 hours, it's just the most fantastic event. But we've kind of had to reimagine it, and I think launching it tomorrow on World Bike Day is a great idea. We're offering people the chance to cycle, the 170k from the 3rd of June to the 3rd of July, which gives everybody a chance to be included. And whether you cycle to work or go for a 10k cycle in the evening or whatever you do, you can build up your 170k over the month. And I think it's absolutely super. Could really motivate people. And the great thing is, anybody who signs up gets this fabulous t-shirt, and also you get to activate an I Donate page, and on that you can track your virtual journey around the Ring of Kerry. But I was out for a cycle on Saturday along the Shannon Estuary, and I reckon that really competes with the Ring of Kerry.
Right, so it turns out we've got loads of great places, and maybe one of the benefits is that actually people who weren't going to be able to make it down for the actual day or the weekend itself are going to be able to do this right across the country as well. So hopefully, the future probably is a lot of people doing something together, but a virtual element of it around the world as well, and maybe that's for our benefit. Can I just ask you mentioned the services. What have you had to do to make sure that the services you provided were able to continue, and what were the biggest challenges over the last while?
Well, we would have to support people who are living with heart conditions and people who've had stroke. So we actually we have begun a stroke step down service. We took that over from other service providers. Anybody who's left the hospital setting, and we're supporting people now who are back in the community. We offer rehabilitation or exercise classes online. We have phone services, and then kind of group sessions as well. I've had to sing at a few of them. It's been very scary. But no, there's I suppose we've got our online support groups, and there's a lot of peer-to-peer support in there as well. But that really makes a huge difference. And then our nurse helpline as well, we've had to up that as well. So kind of an awful lot of shifts. but it's been really good. You know, it's made us rethink the way we're delivering our services as well. And I think we're reaching more people this way. People who were left very vulnerable and very frightened and very isolated. And it's been brilliant to be able to meet them. But can I just say, I was lucky enough to be on here today. There's 12 charities benefiting from the Ring of Kerry cycle. The list is on the Ring of Kerry website. There's absolutely super local charities and national charities included. I'm not going to take all the glory today.
No, it's a real mix, and that's I guess the benefit of it is that if people have a particular charity that they want to support, they're going to find something in that list as part of the Ring of Kerry cycle to do it as well. So are you doing the 160, 170k?
I am. I was kind of hoping to do it all in one day, but I don't know if I'll ever. I just haven't had the time to get out and build up the miles. I'm kind of doing about 50k, you know, on a Saturday. So if I can build it up over the next few weeks now, I'll do it over the next few weeks, but I'm going to try and do it all in the one day, maybe at the start of July.
Right, that is pretty impressive. Myself and Tommy have committed to doing the 170k over the course of the month anyway.
You're only doing it up in Ennis, that's too flat up there, you can't do it up there.
It's true, it's a good point. The thing about this, Anne, is that like come next year, there's going to be like the biggest waiting list of all time for the Ring of Kerry cycle, because bike shops are firing bikes out like it's Christmas Eve every single day. Everybody's got to open a bike over the last year and a half. This is like there's been a boom during lockdown in the sport. So I don't know, they'll have to do it over 2 weekends or something next year and do 2 Ring of Kerry cycles.
I know, and do you know, that actually reminds me of something I wanted to say. I actually bought my husband a bike and he came out over the handlebars. Road safety is really important. And I think as more people get moving around the country now, just be conscious. We've been enjoying the roads to ourselves there for the last few months.
Yeah.
But I think there'll be a lot more motorists on the road, and I suppose we have to remember that rules of the road apply when we're out cycling. So just remember to take care. And I think most people I know that cycle are kind of members of some group and they have insurance, but you can get insurance through Cycling Ireland and it's kind of worth looking into. It's not expensive. But I think road safety is very important. And just in case I don't have a chance to say it as well, I just want to say, just remember the huge benefits of cycling. Like it's low impact sport. Any age can do it. It's great for the core, good for balance. And I think the other great thing is once you have a bike, it's free. You have a very low carbon footprint. But once you're exercising, once you're doing any exercise, you're releasing those happy endorphins and just elevating the mood. And that's really important, you know, if you're sitting at your desk for hours like me.
No, you're exactly right. And I just wanted to point out that it was quite noticeable that I had said that myself and Tommy were doing it. And then Owen had great information about the bike shops throwing the bikes out like it's Christmas Eve, because recently he was in a bike shop. Mm-hmm. Now, he has not yet committed to doing this.
Well, I didn't realise that it was a full month, Anne. So I'm all on board if it's full month. So Tommy and Ger came to me with the proposition that was like, I will do this over the course of 1 weekend. I'm like,
well, no, a real man would do it over the 1 weekend.
Well, that's it. But like, I'm not at your level now at all, doing 50k in one cycle. But I'll get there one day. But that day is not going to come at any point in the next month. It's very unfortunate that I have to break that news. But Ger and Tommy, they are flying. There's 2 Lance Armstrongs here in Team OTB in many ways. In many ways.
Dan Martin or somebody.
2 Dan Martins, and yeah, they're gonna do, like, to be honest with you, I think that the way they've been talking about it would be conducive to them actually doing it in the one day, the 170 kilometres. They've been at it now for the last couple of years, and they've got so much training in over the past 24 months, basically, that it would be rude if they didn't do it in the one day. And as you say, sure, Tommy's on a flat road there up in Ennis.
Where's Owen going to? Where is Joe going to do it?
Joe, are you going to do it?
I'm going to do up Howth. You know, there's plenty of hills up Howth, but it's not far enough, so I'll have to work something out.
You can actually, the Midlands, there's fabulous cycles around the Midlands, and a couple of guys went off from Tala last year. They were raising some money for us, and they did 150k. They just went out to the Midlands. There's some lovely tours around there. The
Leinster Loop is the one that people do there as well, which obviously runs through with High. So look, absolutely, it turns out you've managed to guilt Owen into doing it, because normally he hates charity, Anne. So fair play to you for convincing him.
We'll want to hear updates now, lads.
No problems. Ringofkerrycycle.ie and Anne Riordan from the Irish Heart Foundation. Thanks a million for joining us this morning.